Donald and his wife will celebrate the fight, but how will you celebrate if you win, and what will you do if you lose?
How will Donald and his wife celebrate? You said you know how.
With the red painting.
Oh, right, with the red pants. Jesus, you're mad. Yeah, they'll celebrate that win or lose anyway, do you know what I mean? So.
No. Yeehaw! 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 Always saying about the talk, and I talk, and I talk, and I talk, but guess fucking what? I back it up! I back it up! See stiffness when I look in that 155-pound division. Slow, stiff. I feel like they're stuck in the mud almost. The featherweights, they hit like flyweights. So it's nice down there just destroying them and killing that whole division. But I have my eye on that 155 division, and I see them all stuck in the mud in there. So
Conor,
we'll see over time. But guess what? Have I been wrong yet? Have I been wrong yet? No.
I am out on my own. I am in a league of my own. The game is on its knees. The game must hold seminars every weekend to pay for their training costs. And I'm out here rallying around California in a car that spits fire, dressed like El Chapo, with anacondas on my feet. So I am in a league of my own here.
Lucky charm.
See about that. First, you've got to get through a guy that whooped your ass already. So why would I waste my time with a guy? You're fighting a guy that whooped your ass next. So you got to come through that. And let me say, and then I'll consider. I'll check the numbers. I'll discuss it with Frank, and I'll decide whether I'll change your bum life as well. Last contest he had, he fought a tough reject, an Ultimate Fighter reject. Nobody gave a shit about it, and he got wobbled about 40 times. His chin is deteriorating. Every single contest he gets in, he hits one knee. He does a gust of wind, and he does the chicken dance. You know what I mean? Coming up against me, that's not going to be good. You know, I'm going to crack him with a jab, and he's going to wobble, and I'm going to put him away early. It's going to be a first-round KO. Mark my words. As you can see, it's tradition. I remove a head. I bring it backstage. I place it on Mr. Fertitta and Mr. White's desk. Here you go, boss. Another one done. And then we discuss big business. So we went and we discussed big business. And big business just happens to be in Viva Las Vegas. So we are going to go to Las Vegas, and one more head will be collected. I look at him as a novice. He throws an overhand right. He looks at the floor, closes his eyes, and hopes for the best. This is day one beginner stuff where I come from. Chad's last gate was $545,607. That's less than my show money. It's absolutely embarrassing.
I'd fight
Cole,
career.
Cole,
I really appreciate it.
Nobody
Connor,
gives
you're the
a
man.
shit.
You are the man, bro.
18 fights. Honestly, I swear to God, I understand where you're coming from, man. If I was in the UFC for 18 fights, and I was in your situation, and I saw a motherfucker like me coming up, I'd hate me too. I understand where you were coming from, but at the end of the day, your mouth got you into big, big trouble here. I know you're afraid. You're too slow for me, Cole. I'm going to break you in the first exchange. Say it. Say what you know. You know they want you to lose. Say that to me right now.
I just said that.
Good girl. Said it. Good girl. Good girl.
Let's make a bet here. If you fucking have the
How
ball
much?
to do anything.
With that $500,000. You're making bets with that $500,000 I gave you? 48,000 you went from. You went from 48,000 to $500,000. Thank me and be grateful. Be grateful. I butchered your face. I KO'd you. You were curled up like a bitch. You were curled up like a bitch. You were curled up like a bitch. I butchered your body. You couldn't even lift your hands up. You couldn't even lift your hands up. You can do that all you want, but at the end of the day, the knockout speaks for itself, and you hit the deck like a bitch.
Because they are not on my level. Not one single individual in this company is on my level.
Words.
Who knows? Because as you know, as you can tell by looking at this fine physique, that I'm a freak of nature, you know what I mean? I'm a specimen of human movement, so who the fuck knows? I can only imagine the state Rafael is in, coming back-to-back cuts, especially he blew up before the Cerrone fight. He was extremely overweight, and he had to cut down to make that 155-pound limit. And then the king calls and says, "You're up again, kid," and now he's got to do it all over again. So I mean, just looking at him, he's aged 25 years in the last 2 weeks. So I can only imagine how he's feeling, but I'm feeling damn good.
We should have all gone around with a car and shake that. Big similar.
Otario, Otario! Otario, Otario!
You know what that means? Pussy.
Yeah, listen, cut out all this other stuff and I'd go through the whole roster in 4 months. And I tell you that right now, I'll whoop every single one of them inside 4 months if you cut out all this other shit. Bring me in, weigh me in, and I'll fight the next night and wipe out the entire game inside 4 months. A guy who has, his last gate was 1.7 million. He fought on free TV. He's never brought a dime to the company. He's never made a dime, yet he is sitting there on the front of my poster. I think that's a department that needs to be looked at. Somebody sleeping on the job. This is a super fight. Where are all these historic images? These are posters that will be looked back on long after it's all said and done, and then you've got to look back on that absolute garbage. So, you know, I feel someone sleeping on the job in that department, and I will have to dip my nose and find out who and eliminate them.
Connor, do you know what wrestling is?
I could
you ever
rest
been
my balls on
double-leg?
your forehead.
Yeah, I know.
I think I might have buried Chad out here somewhere. I think I might have dumped Chad's body out here somewhere. And this looks familiar out here.
Celebration, you ring back home, you ring your wife. Baby, we done it. We're rich, baby. Conor McGregor made us rich. Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.